Right, we're live.
What's up, everybody? How we doing?
A person is on YouTube's.
Nice. Shorebill, you reckon?
It could be Shorebilly, it could be BMX Gunner, it could be Taylor, it could be Christian.
Are they all on the YouTubes?
That's usually who watches on the YouTubes, but only one is there. So those are. Oh,
okay.
it could be Smokey.
Could be Smokey. What's up,
They
bud?
have
Whoever it is.
discovered that the YouTubes is the place to watch because that's where all the chitter chatter happens.
Okay.
And then we always have one person check in on Twitch, but I have no idea who it is.
Okay. Well, get in touch, Twitch guy.
Actually, I think I can log into Twitch and no idea who it is.
Yeah. Well, get in
Oh,
touch.
then I hear-
Twitch guy. I can hear myself
I think I can
there.
log into Twitch and there we go. I can pull that down. I was like, well, maybe I can log on to Twitch and see who it is, but then I
Then
do
it
that
started
and
playing the
plays who
video,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
That's pretty good. So what's
But here, I'll type hello.
so
Oh,
what's
I have
go
to join
what's going
into all
on in
that
your
shit.
world? We're quickly running out of shit to talk about, Houston.
There we go. Da 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 da. Ooh, whiskey glass.
Yeah.
I haven't even tasted this, by the way. I went to the trouble of pouring you guys samples, pouring it from the can to the glass, sitting here holding it in the hand, and I've yet to taste it.
Graham being living proof that once my wife did or did not show him the boobs, he had nothing else left to talk to her about.
Yeah, that was it.
By the way, you
healing
didn't
nicely,
answer the
though,
question.
isn't it?
You did not answer the question. How is everything going for the recovery? You doing well?
I'm off the antivirals. I've gone through all of them, and it is healing. And so far, I seem to be mending completely well.
Great to hear.
Oh, that's good. That's
Fun bags to be ready to play with in about 10 days.
one
Yeah.
thing. That's one thing I That's pretty good.
Gotcha.
That I started to say that
4 people saw that one.
got cut off by Titty Talk.
Titty Talk.
was
Welcome
by-
to Titty Talk with Graham and Mel.
By Wednesday of the second week of paternity, Sam, Carly looked at me and was like, "You go back to work Monday, right?" I'm like, you're going back, aren't you? I was like, "Yes, thank God." I feel the same fucking way.
All right, so just got this text. Hey, handsome, kissy lips. It's Jen, kissy face emoji.
Oh my, I should be worried. Jen sounds hot.
I'm done with class for a bit and getting ready to do a private cam show just for a couple of friends.
Tell her you're doing a private cam show just for a couple friends too.
Fire emoji, redeem this promo code, and you can get plenty of free credits to see my show.
She can watch for free right now.
Picked up a few surprises just for you. Don't share this link, okay? Question mark. See you inside? Question mark.
Are you a gynecologist now?
So
Does she
this
think
is
you're a
our
doctor?
this is Jen.
What's the what's the old website?
What's the
Hey,
website?
Graham.
Want to share me that link?
Jen's a dude.
So
I know.
funny.
At this point, I don't really care. Carly hasn't
You
looked at me since we found out she was pregnant.
Should mention that I'm doing.
I mean,
a
literally. Oh, we just lost one
live
viewer.
Cam.
I hate watching the
two.
number.
And mine is
Free. You greedy bitch.
At Team Football Show.
have fun, hot stuff.
I love it.
It's true, though.
Winky face emoji, hard eyes emoji.
Eggplant and
Eggplant.
and
Yep.
splash.
Yep. Eggplant. You got to get an eggplant
no
in there.
confuser. 2 carrot stick.
Ooh, skinny.
Eggplant and
Do the cross swords
David Geckel says,
and then
"Do you-
sign off
And
Phil and
splash.
Dave
do
or
you football
something.
show hits harder than a Millwall keeper boot to the face."
by the way, I'm assuming that's your parting words, right?
What?
The Millwall supporters.
Oh, being racist again? Yeah.
Saying, yeah. Oh, there we go. All right. And also, let me go ahead and report that as junk and delete it.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. We've now lost. We went from 5 to 2 people.
Oh, well, hey. Well, we're getting ready to talk footy. Well, that's fucking TikTok. You know, the people don't.
No, that's Facebook and TikTok.
Shit.
That's our people.
Go figure. Okay, well, that's our people who left.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've got everything ready to rock and roll for the open, Mel?
1 second. I do have to do it for my phone though because I just do. Mm-hmm. It's on the board, but it's not loud enough with the music.
Gotcha. So
Give me one hot sec.
Hey, do I have to send you the thing?
If you didn't,
the fantasy stuff, you probably should.
yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't. I thought I sent it Thursday, but I don't remember.
You did not.
Right.
Or if you did, I don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't recall. I don't remember anything at all. Does anybody know who that is?
No,
Peter Gabriel.
don't remember.
That was Peter
I've heard it before, but I don't remember.
All right. You ready to do a show, Mr. Graham? Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, here we go, party people. Oh, motherfucker.
See, this is why you watch live the three people who left.
All right, you know what? I am stopping that recording. I was going to just keep going, but no. I forgot we had to reset the board. Okay.
Hi, this is HR trying to clear up some confusion from last week's show. The difference between bar cats and barn cats. Bar cats are cats that run around all night drinking and partying, where barn cats are cats that stay home with 4 daughters. You are listening to the DU Football Show.
Fucking brilliant!
What a dick.
Well, you know, I'm glad HR was here to clear those things up for us. It's very important. These are things people need to know, especially you.
Got too much time on your hands.
Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a totally biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, my co-host, a man just looking for a touch. Mr. Samuel Graham, how you doing, buddy?
Doing very well, thank
I
you.
mean, you said you haven't been being paid attention to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did hear another funny one the other day. Somebody, woman said to the husband, it was another joke reel, you know. Woman said to the husband, "Hey, hon, I'm really sorry, but OBGYN said that probably shouldn't be doing it for about three to 6 weeks."
Okay.
And he goes, "Oh man, what did the dentist say?"
And of course, on the ones and twos, producer Mel. Producer Mel, we're all good. We're good to go. Anything you want to do, or do you need to take over the show? Or are we good to go? Huh?
Smokey checking in. He says, podcast! Podcast! And,
That's an old cut.
HR checking
That
in,
is an old cut.
saying, love you, Grammy.
Love you too, bud. That was clever. Well done.
We're recording at the U Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. It is at DU Football Show on all the social media and everywhere. And dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
I did get caught with one today. So previously to doing the show tonight, I was on the Whole Lot of Wolves show to preview Everton and Wolves for coming up over the weekend.
Nice.
And
That got infinitely easier when Mateus Cunha decided to start fucking roadhousing people.
My segment was basically talking about Wolves and not about my club, because I was like, well, you guys just fucking changed everything.
Yeah.
What, you play all the teams in the bottom half of the table for the next 5, and it looks like he's going to be out for 3 to 5
At least. Yeah. I mean, he might see an extra game or two because it was like a kick, a head grab and a head butt.
Yep.
And then I think he took a swing.
And
At least he didn't take someone's glasses this time.
I got caught with one. One of the hosts, Josh, was like, "Oh, so I can check you out on your MySpace page." I'm like, got another fucking social media site I gotta find. Sam myself put work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirit. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Slight programming note: we are still waiting for number 8 to come over from across the sea because it's not even available in the United States. It has hit ground, so it should be here in the next couple of days. So we will drink it next week. So instead of number 8, we're going to drink number 7. Mr. Graham, tell us all about it.
Number 7, this is the Still Austin 5-year-old Bottle and Bond Red Corn. It comes in at 100 proof and should run you about $85. Obviously, it's on this list. Look for it to be a touch more expensive than that. Panel gave it a 94. It's obviously a bourbon whiskey. And Shane English of the Whiskey Advocate gives you your blurb. And he has this to say. This rich and spiced bourbon from a Texas grain-to-glass distillery starts big with a bold nose of cracked pepper, dusty leather, and cocktail cherries. The palate is dense and rewarding with layers of chili, pepper, caramel, and buttery cornbread. I can see that. Each sip is electric. The pepper gives the whiskey a zing balanced by pound cake and glazed donuts. I have another one for injury time. Something I saw that's quite funny. Charred oak fades to chocolate, coffee, and pecan pie on the finish, distilled from a mash with both red and white corn, plus rye and a little malted barley. You can taste that cereal grain in there as well. This relative newcomer delivers a bourbon as bold as the Texas sun without sacrificing finesse.
All right, so
I don't get a lot of the desserty stuff.
no,
I get the cherries.
A little bit of
Cordial
cherries.
cherry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I get buttered cornbread. Oh,
Yeah.
I get cornbread big time.
I get that,
And I think that might be that barley because it adds that cereal grain,
Yep,
which you could very
absolutely.
easily, it tastes cornbready.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Now, as far as getting
And pound cake, it tastes dense.
as far as getting this, everyone, this is the past year's edition, so it's not out there unless it's a Dusty on the shelf. And if it's a Dusty on the shelf, you're finding it in Texas, or you might find it in a Total Wine and More. Our Total Wine and More's, the two by us, and I even had our boy check it, the ones in Delaware, did not have it at all.
But at one point was a corporate mandate for me.
Yes, and they do carry a ton of Still Austin stuff, just not this one. Now, in the summer, they will come out with their next red corn, and that will be on the shelf. So
Right.
if you want it, that's where you're going to have to get it, because it's just not nationally distributed in other stores other than Total. It was Total who they had the agreement with. But then, of course, as I always like to say, Sam, never doubt our ability to get something we want. And also, never doubt the ability of one of our boys to help us get something we want.
Exactly. I mean, that's always one avenue we explore. And we were reached out to by our boy Taylor, of course, P1. And he found this in his home state of Texas. I think he was visiting down there for a funeral. Is that right? Mm-hmm. And found this bottle and thought of us even amidst his grief, which we immensely appreciate. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, sent it to us. We insisted on paying him, and he said, no, don't worry about it. So he's, one of the best guys we got. He's stayed here with you for a weekend. Obviously, he's been up. He's part of the family now, and we very much appreciate everything he does and brings to the table.
Yeah.
And the meme game is always strong.
Oh, hell yeah. And so all of that being said, I wanted to have prejudice against this whiskey because it's hard to get and only in Totals. And again, Whiskey Advocate putting something out there that you're only going to find Dusty on the shelf or you're not going to find it at all kind of thing.
Which annoys us for the reason that the list started out being, and we've said this time and time again, if you're just finding the show, the Whiskey Advocate Top 20 list started out as a way to introduce people to whiskey and find exceptional shit at a cheaper price. And now...
And accessible. You could find it.
Exactly. And now, over the last few years, there was an old Fitzgerald on this list at one point or another.
Why?
There, again, is this. Total is in a lot of places in the country, not everywhere.
Yeah.
Total Wine and More. And not everybody lives in fucking Texas.
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's that's the annoyance by it. It's a damn good whiskey.
So saying all of that,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to have a bias. I already had a bias. It's fucking delightful.
It's delicious.
It is really, really
It's
good.
100% delicious.
If you can find it, get it. It's really fucking good. If you,
I like
if
the
it's
artwork
waiting
on
for
the bottle
next
as
year,
well.
Yeah.
You got a snake choking a cactus out. I like that a lot. Like the imagery is very Texas. The aging 5 years on a bourbon is a bit of a sweet spot. Starts the sweet spot at least.
They have a blue corn as well. That's a blue snake. Yeah. And
Nice.
and then they have like they have a cask strength. They have their regular. I think they have a weeded as well. They've got like 5 or 6 different.
Oh, really?
So
It might be something when we start doing whiskeys outside the top 20 again. We might have to visit
I'm thinking maybe
more of their flagship stuff and just see.
buying something flagship of theirs, just because I think we should give it a try, just to
Yeah,
kinda
just to
talk
see what
about
they're.
it
A
little
lot
bit.
of people do shit regular whiskey too and have exceptional rare stuff.
Yeah, true.
So I'd like to see what their regular stuff tastes like. To have something to compare it to. Oh, also, by the way, didn't notice that and didn't say it in there. It is Bottle and Bond.
Yeah, it's
it
a
has
bib.
listed on the label there.
So minimum
I
100
just- I
proof,
just saw
minimum
that.
of 4 years. This is obviously a 5-year.
It's a 5 and it's 100 proof.
and then
Yep.
done during a certain season of barreling. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so excellent. What else do we always need to do, Mr. Graham?
Always remember to thank your friends for buying you cool shit and drink responsibly.
I love it. Cheers, my good man.
Cheers.
Cheers, Mel. All right.
We only been doing it for 7 years. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. The battle for Europe is heating up, and the only consistency from week to week is the inconsistency of the clubs in the hunt. That was a great written open, and I completely fucked it.
Yeah.
Brighton 2, Bournemouth 1, Palace 4, Villa 1, Fulham 2, Wolves 1. Seagulls were opportunistic, and here's the thing. It's now 4 in a row for them since losing to Everton 1-0 and getting manhandled by Forest 7-0.
And if you include the FA Cup at the weekend, it's 5 in a row. Where they had a bit of a blip. They were pretty inconsistent. It's the most games when you take it to the 5 in all competitions. It's the most game that Hutzel has put together since he took charge.
Yeah.
And again, they had that little bit of the Brighton slide. You know, it was kind of like the Palace slide, but it did the same sort of thing.
Well, even with those 2 losses, prior to that, it was a whole lot of them drawing and not getting any 3-pointers at all.
But I kind of think after this, they're sort of poised to fly up the table. To be completely honest,
Absolutely.
they're playing very, very good stuff down there. Multitude and Bournemouth are as well. They just it was kind of unlucky that Cherries actually had the first chance in the game, but it took a great save from Verbruggen. But then that woke Brighton up, right? And they started to settle in and actually play the stuff that we've seen over the last few weeks. João Pedro won a penalty, scored the penalty himself.
Hey, call him by his Christian name.
Oh, Pendro.
Pendro.
Do you think it was a penalty? Aretha Balaga seemed to think that he was just standing his ground. Is kind of the argument. It looked like he was remonstrating to the referee.
I think it was a penalty.
I think it was a penalty as well.
I do. You can't.
He impeded the man's run.
Yeah, you can't.
It doesn't. You slid out to that position just because you stopped before he got there. That means you mistimed it.
Yeah.
It's not like a charge in basketball.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with the keeper on coming out on those balls like that. You better fucking get it. You better fucking get it.
He didn't
man.
even go all the way down either, which was the other surprising part. He kind of did the one knee sort of slide. He stayed kind of upright.
You still impeded.
Which
And
no,
it's
100%.
absolutely
Yeah,
a penalty.
I'm totally with you. It absolutely was a penalty, that one. But Bournemouth did grow back into the game as well. Brighton were able to repel them, obviously. But Justin Kluivert's goal, one of the best of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Of the midweek, rather. Absolutely fucking phenomenal. Just cutting in from the left on his favorite right foot and just blasting it in the far corner. Perfect curl, good power. It was excellent, excellent stuff.
No Solanke, no problem. Kluivert is stepped right in, and then the supporting cast around him. Yes.
Oh, you for the season.
Yeah.
And Semenyo as well.
Yeah. But you think of like, and then Evan Nelson and Unal, and then
Ouattara, since
like
Evan Nelson's been injured.
So all of those guys, but Kluivert is what, on 14, 15 right now? Like
something like that.
Yeah,
a little less than that, maybe 12 or 13, but yeah.
But those goals have been found for Bournemouth.
They found Solanke's goals.
All of them,
not tenfold, but they multiplied Solanke's goals.
They've
all been chipping in.
Yeah, they found them easy, and that was the thing about this game that seemed so kind of interesting is that Cherries were in it.
Big time.
Cherries absolutely had every opportunity.
So they equalized, right? But then you got that guy Welbs, who had a fucking resurgent weekend after a blazing start to the season. Little injury and then kind of a dip, and he's been in and out of the team for kind of the festive period into the start of this year, and but scored obviously in the FA Cup, but scores here late on to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's the thing for the Cherries.
But again, Brighton had to hold on at the end. So the Bournemouth didn't let it get them down.
Right.
They came right back, pressing again after it. So, which is something positive to take from this. And this little bit of a wobble they've kind of had over the last, kind of 5 weeks collectively, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Is that they don't give up. They continue to press. They continue to go. They continue to push the issue, and that's just going to bode well for the end of the season, I think, as teams seem to be running out of steam. Because after this game, a lot of this list of shit we're supposed to talk about today are teams that look like they're running out of steam.
Oh yeah, definitely. My team is just fucking tired. They're tired. But here's the thing. So a lot of what I wrote for the notes and is kind of more where, especially in this first segment, where these teams' records are and what it is they've been doing. So, like I said, Cherries had plenty of chances, could have won this, but they've now lost 3 of 4. You know, and then both of them are on 43 points, and they are sitting in 7th and 8th. And Bournemouth is only ahead of Brighton because of goal differential right now, and that's going to be a bit of a kind of a theme for all of these teams. So I kind of want to go through all these 3 games, and then at the end I have a little bit more to ask you. So Villa turned in an absolute dud. This might have been Villa's worst performance of the season.
Palace have been one of the best away teams, which is why and not very good at home,
right?
Which is why I put this in my my bet, and I had Villa or a draw, right, on this game. Which was the first piece. Now, Arsenal ended up fucking me later also, but this piece of this was my, was the first leg that fell down.
Right. Well, and here it looked like, after the past week, we were like, okay, Villa's fucking back. They're ready to make a charge for Champions League. But here's their record over the last 5 is 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses. So, again...
But if you look through
inconsistency,
if you look through those, a lot of those they've been playing midweek weekend, which if you look at their form in the first part of the season was the same thing. When they had a Champions League game, a group game, they were fucked on the weekend and turned in a bit of a dud.
Yeah.
You think about the travel. They have a relatively deep squad in terms of the positions that matter. They have a sizable backup.
Right.
But they don't have the deepest of squads. Like they wouldn't feel comfortable rotating completely.
Well, and they're missing a few guys.
They're still betting in Rashford. They're still betting in Asensio. So Ollie Watkins looks like a man that either needs a rest on a beach somewhere for a week, or he just needs to be out of the spotlight because he can't seem to turn in a performance worthy of the press's praises at the moment. It looks like it's really affected him, in my opinion, because he looks a bit bereft of confidence.
Turn the attention to Palace in the most Palace thing ever, right? Where we always say they kind of consistently finish in 12th. Their current record is 9-9-9. Yeah. But what we can say, one hell of an offensive output from them, led by Ismail Sarr.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sarr was excellent in this game. He's been excellent every time he's played. He's a lot like Eza, but he does get injured from time to time and, has missed 2, 3, 4 week stints here and there. But when he's on song, I mean, Palace are a totally different team.
Yeah. And
Palace are a totally different team.
Eza with an assist, and Ketia finally gets a goal. Like, they just... It all seems to be clicking.
And Eddie's always been one, just from an Arsenal perspective, because obviously he was there from the time he was a boy. He's always been one that gets bagfuls, but then goes on these barren runs where he's got nothing to offer.
Right.
And it just seems like he started the season, obviously, he, was kind of the main man at Arsenal for a couple of years because of Jesus's issues.
Right.
And
Health, man.
before we bought Havertz, like he was playing a ton in that position. When we first got Havertz, he was playing a ton of center forward because we weren't really sure where to play Havertz, right? And he would go 6 games in a row and bag 11 goals.
Yeah.
A couple of braces, couple of, and then you wouldn't hear his name fucking called for 2 months.
Right. Well, I also think,
know what I mean?
Too, the Palace got him because they weren't sure what Mateta was going to do. And Mateta's been nothing short of fucking brilliant.
No,
Got a
right.
goal in this one.
And it's one of the hardest things to do, especially as a striker, is to come on and be on it, because everything's about having the pace of the game, right? You need to have the intensity of the game. You need to have the beat of the defenders. And if they're already well warmed up, obviously, and you're coming off the bench at 60 minutes, 65, 70 minutes on the clock, you're not going to be as sharp just naturally. You might be fresh, you might be faster than somebody, but you're not going to be as sharp. You don't have the pace of the game necessarily. You might be making the wrong run,
right?
or the wrong decision based on how you've, over the past 50 minutes, learned the defender's tendencies at that moment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's a weird one. Obviously, can't talk about that specific thing without mentioning Mateta getting kicked in the face.
Which we're going to talk about a ton in the EFL show, but yeah.
But now it looks like Nketiah is going to get that run on the side. And these 2 goals, because he scored in the FA Cup as well.
Yeah.
You put these 2 goals back to back together, it looks like he might be starting on one of those bag full of goal runs.
Right.
Which only bodes well for Palace because they're playing essentially the bottom 5 over the next 3 to 5 weeks. Because I know there's an international break. There's a few. We have that kind of weird period where everybody has only a game or something.
Another round of FA Cup games too, and all of that. So,
right.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's actually going to get a run on the side. So that might be a very, very positive thing. And when Mateta does come back, creates 2 informed strikers. Now, obviously, you don't know how Mateta is going to be after the injury, a major injury like that. We saw what happened. I mean, it was worse with Raul Jimenez, but when he wasn't the same player for about 2 years.
No, not at all.
After David Luiz cracked his skull.
Yeah.
So, you hope that a player is able to kind of curb those emotions, curb those kind of trauma that they suffered, that PTSD of not shying away from challenges, of not, of being afraid to run onto a ball for fear of getting fucking clocked again.
Right.
And as long as Mateta can do that, and he shows some bit of form, some bit of stuff after he comes back, you now have 2 strikers actually fighting for a spot.
No,
and that only breeds confidence, and only breeds collectiveness, and only breeds a will to win. It's a good thing for Palace.
Well, Mel, she's been trying all week to say that the game never happened.
It never happened.
Cardiff, they beat Cardiff, and that's all she knows.
That's all I remember. I remember falling asleep on the couch with my dog.
And then every time you woke up, I just went, go back to sleep. And also, it doesn't get any easier for Villa because it's now right back to Champions League again.
We have a stretch coming up with 12 whole days off, so
everybody else has it too.
Shh. It's just our 12 days.
Enjoy your Merlot.
Merlot.
I'm just having a hard time with words. Words are difficult today.
Well, now I'm gonna have to try that.
Merlot and Malort.
Yeah. But the 12 days off, isn't that an international break?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so Ollie Watkins doesn't have 12 days off, probably.
Yeah,
Leon Bailey probably won't have 12 days off.
Yep.
You reckon a lot of that squad is probably a little busy.
Yeah, they're going to have games to do.
That's what happens when you're so good.
All right. So honestly, great fucking win for the Cottagers. They've actually, they've gotten a few here now, even though they still have kind of head scratchers as well, because like they've won 3 of 4, but then they have that inexplicable loss at home to Palace.
Yeah, they drew Palace in the next round of the FA Cup as well, which is going to be fucking interesting, that game, because both teams have the same distraction.
Yeah.
Trying to push for that 7th, 8th spot, that kind of European spot. And, which I bring that up for this particular reason. Wolves are a team Fulham should be beating. Period, point blank.
Right, of course.
And they kind of skated through this one a bit. Wolves had more possession. Wolves had far more shots. The only thing that Fulham come out with it is one of the coolest, calmest, fucking greatest finishes I've ever seen. One of the most nonchalant, just fucking, I do this for a living, motherfucker.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Rodrigo Muniz, just complete, but in stride as well. Like he didn't break stride. It just looked like he was taking another step, and all of a sudden that ball was over top of Johnstone. That was good.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
It really was. And well, also too, Fulham scored quickly, and that just
Sessegnon scored what was 53 seconds or something.
Right. So that then puts you, if you're Wolves, in a scenario of we got to go get the game now, because they are in a point now at this point in time in the season. You're starting to look at certain games on the calendar, and you're like, we can go to Fulham and get a point if we play our cards right.
Yeah, but over the last couple of months, the issue I have with Fulham, this is basically what my entire notes around this game revolve around. You've got players now. Iwobi's been phenomenal for 2 seasons for them. Yeah, like just pulling all the strings. Reece Nelson started off his loan spell in a blaze of glory. Emil Smith Rowe started his time as Fulham. Awesome. You have Raul Jimenez reincarnated after the injury. Yeah, finally
from last year into this year. Yeah,
Marco Silva's getting a tune out of Ardama Traore in recent weeks rather, where the end product is starting to figure itself out. You've got a very, very capable defensive midfielder, a very capable defense, and I can't kind of separate the weekend in terms of the narrative.
Yeah, it's fine.
But you have Bernd Leno saving 2 penalties in the FA Cup in their game.
Right.
Yeah, so a back line and a goalkeeper that is full of confidence and keeps people out. But they are falling into that syndrome of playing to their opponent's level. And I know it all too fucking well.
Yeah.
Where I'm sat, which is why we're not lifting a Premier League trophy this year. They need to figure. I'm not questioning their professionalism. I'm questioning their ego.
Right.
They need to know you still have to go in and put in a shift. You still have to go work. They had to work immensely hard for this game, despite that being one of the coolest, most nonchalant finishes.
Right.
Like I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast kind of, finishes. They should have dominated this game.
Right.
Wolves are not in a good spot at all. And you skated out with a 2-1 win. It's away from home, fine. Is it 3 points on the board? That's all that matters. Yes. I would question the manner of this result. I think Fulham should have gave a much better account of themselves.
Well, couple that with you should have beat Palace at home, and you're
exactly right.
And of these teams, and this is where I was getting to, is we just talked about 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, right? They're 7th and 8th are on 43, 9th and 10th are on 42. Get that Palace win, you're in front of everybody.
Oh yeah.
And
if you're chasing Europe, these are the games you have to do. And you've seen, not that they're going to get that high, obviously. They'd have to go on a massive, massive run.
Right.
But say Forest have had a bit of a blip.
Newcastle lost points, and Newcastle would be who would be right in front of them if they didn't lose to Palace.
Exactly right.
But
you've got the best left back in the league, in my opinion, Anthony Robinson at the moment, maybe besides Andy Robertson. But you have one of the premier left backs in the league who contributes on both ends of the pitch like crazy. You've got 2 strong, awesome center backs that feed off each other very well as well. They're positionally aware with each other in Anderson and I can't remember his name. Doesn't matter. right back probably leaves a little bit to be desired. Your midfield, most Premier League clubs will be happy with Sasa Lukic.
Yeah.
I reckon. You know, you've got Iwobi, who was kind of bit part, kind of relied on at Arsenal when he was there. He sort of found his main man, Big Pants, at Everton, and then Fulham are now reaping those benefits.
Yeah.
They have quality throughout the side. They should be, in my opinion, putting this Wolves team to the sword.
So here's,
that's all.
So here's, like I mentioned, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brighton, you don't lose that game to Everton. You don't get your ass completely dismantled by Forest. You could be up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cherries, you had a little bit of a slip here, right? Then you look at Villa, not only just this loss to Palace, but 2 weeks before that, before having the good run, a draw with Ipswich, in your building, a 10-man Ipswich, right? Fulham, the inconsistencies there. And it's only 2 of these teams are probably going to get into Europe, maybe only 1. And, not for nothing, Brentford ain't playing terrible. Who knows? Maybe Spurs make a charge, right? Like, maybe Palace is starting to get hot at the right time. So what's so crazy about this, and this honestly is going to be a lot of what we talk about for the rest of the season, is it's there for the taking. No one seems to want to fucking take it.
Not
man.
Properly, yeah. You're absolutely right about
no
it.
one seems to want to fucking take it.
Agreed.
Who do you really think it's going to be? Who do you think's going to pull it off?
I can tell you that they're not on my season predictions.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Neither.
I don't know. I think Brighton looked the most poised with the form that they're in. Bournemouth and Forest, as I said before, have had a bit of a blip. And Forest obviously will come on to because they played probably the shittest game of the week against Arsenal. There's nothing to say about that game.
Yeah. There's some things to say about that game.
You still have City, right, that look like they're starting to kind of figure stuff out a little bit. They're still vulnerable, but they're getting some players back from injury that should sort their defense out. And if they start drawing, and then, Haaland again had one of the most composed finishes I've ever seen. Also, just a great little piece of play.
Cool. Then we've already covered the entire game for Tottenham and City.
But
when
it
we
just,
get to Oso.
but they're starting to get some results, and they're starting to string a couple together, is what I'm saying. Right. So you have to worry about them, obviously, overtaking. Like, if you're Forest, you have to worry about your little blip, because now City have figured their shit out. They're in 4th. They're fucking coming for you. If Isak doesn't miss too much time with that injury, Newcastle have been on the charge of late. Really, there's a lot of teams in there, and it's not always about what you do.
Right.
It's about other teams dropping points, and it's not. I just don't see them overturning the full deficit. They might have a Conference League spot, maybe Fulham. You might see Bournemouth in a Conference League, maybe, but ultimately, Champions League I think is mostly figured out. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, guaranteed.
Yeah. Is it Forest? Is it Chelsea? Is it Newcastle? Could it be one of these 4 teams? Could one of them
it
sneak
could
in?
be any of them.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is going to be disappointed. Could all of them make Europe because of, somebody wins the Champions League.
Right.
We get an extra spot. Somebody wins the Europa League. There's English teams in every competition still.
Yeah.
You got to reckon Chelsea's going to win the Conference League, right? Tottenham, whoever, others have a good shot at the Europa League. I don't count Manchester United in that, by the way. And then you've got, if Arsenal is starting to get healthy, Arsenal have a chance at the Champions League. We're expecting in 2 weeks for Saka to be back. Is there somebody else in Liverpool? Obviously, top the group stage. There's every chance they win it. And then you have 8-9 teams in Europe, so all of them could actually do it.
Well, good news. Every single England team is still in Europe. Oh, wait, not City. It would appear the title, my words today. It would appear the title is all but wrapped up, and an uninspired performance at the City ground is what might have put the nail in the coffin again. Liverpool 2, Newcastle 0, Arsenal 0, Forest 0. Obviously, Isaac out due to a knock, and frankly, the Reds put the game to bed early. It was never even in doubt, really.
No, I mean the main talking point for me here is no Isaac, big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Callum Wilson should have had a hat trick, and I do truly believe if Isaac was on the field, he would have had a hat trick. Mm-hmm. Liverpool gave up some chances, but you never once felt like Newcastle were going to score in this game at all.
Yeah.
And the 2 Liverpool goals again, like they did to City almost. It was good, crisp, and clean, but it's fairly simple football to break them down.
Very simple football.
To be honest. It didn't do anything that spectacular. It'd make a pass, you go, yeah, I saw that. Oh, nope, saw that too. What? Saw that too. Oh, he's going to shoot. Bang, back in the net. It's like, well, what are you thinking? Because that was pretty easy. I did love Salah's little drop of the shoulder and then pass to McAllister. It was a phenomenal little fake, body fake, and it just opened up. It cleaned the one defender, took him completely out of the game. Excellent little assist. But it's just another professional job, honestly. I mean, it was kind of expose yourself too much about around injuries or fatigue, or just go about your business, get the job done, and then we'll fucking just chill for 40 minutes. And that's exactly what they did.
2-0's all you got to do. You don't have to kill them. And here's the thing. I mean, obviously the lead's now 13. You obviously have a game in hand, so there could be some change to that, but they aren't letting any distraction bother them. Salah's essentially a free agent at the end of the year, not letting it phase him.
And he keeps this form up, man. I mean, he's going to go to them and say, pay me. I'll be the first $500,000 a week player in England.
Yeah. You better pay me well.
Pay me or I'm out.
and don't blame him. And then, Van Dijk next year will be the last year of his contract. So you got to get him extended if you want to keep him. And Trent Alexander-Arnold's all but said he's leaving. He
wants to go play with his mate Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, he's gonna leave. So in that situation, you would think these are looking at Liverpool historically, right? Let me take the blue glasses off. But since the modern Premier League era, Liverpool have found ways to fuck it up every fucking time, except for the one title they got, right? They have fucked it off. The Gerrard slip.
And there's still an asterisk on that because of COVID.
Right. Now, there are all the reasons in the world for this team to have fallen flat on their face, and they have met every single challenge, and they have just kept rolling. The real blip on their radar this year was going out of the FA Cup to Plymouth, but it was a B squad anyways. That's the blip.
Around there in that 3-week span is when Arsenal still had a proper title hope.
Yeah.
They drew twice in a row just after going out of the FA Cup again.
Yeah.
You know, and is that really a blip? I mean, everyone on the field is professional footballers. You have, some are better than others, and you can kind of try to predict that. That's why sports gambling exists. But the real reason, which is, sports gambling exists, is the game still has to be played, and they're all pros out there, right? That's why Plymouth won the game, right? They executed a game plan that put Liverpool off their shit, and they had somebody stand on their absolute head. Yeah. But he has the capacity to stand on his head because he's really fucking good at what he does. right?
He's a fucking
And
professional.
Liverpool have gone about this with the tenacity and the ruthlessness of the bald guy from the video game Hitman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's just fucking straight killing people.
Just not being phased at all. Now, turning that to your match, both of these stats are damning. You only managed 11 shots all day. You only managed 1 on target. That 11 is still fucking appalling for the team you are, right?
The team we're supposed to be.
You should be putting up somewhere between 22 to 28 shots a game
here's the
and
thing.
putting about half of them on target. That's what you should be doing.
The team that we are and the team that we should be are two different things, though.
Yeah.
The team that we should be doing that. The team that we are is a team full of midfielders and flair players at the moment because everyone that does do the shooting is fucking hurt. So we're in trouble at the moment. I was happy to escape with a point out of this game.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
The game was boring as fuck. Nothing actually happened in the game. We actually restricted them to not a ton either.
Right.
It was just a kind of a very boring ping pong match
such a
when you
dog
expected to show up to Wimbledon. You know, a team in third looking to press on and us a wounded animal. I thought they were going to hound us. They just didn't.
No, they didn't at all.
They saw this point as a bonus point.
Yeah, they didn't expect it. They'll go, great, we'll take it.
So, in terms of the title race, we're mathematically still in it.
It's over.
So, do you remember way back when in school when you had your trig teacher, your trigonometry teacher, teach you about parabolas? And you had the grid paper, you had to draw the parabola, and then you had to draw a different parabola. And then the math says that they'll never ever touch. But your eye says my pencil makes it touch because the line has actual thickness.
Right.
Right? That's Arsenal in the title race right now. Well, the lines are touching. I can see it with my eyes. It's
Right.
not. It is mathematically impossible. I'm sorry. Vice
Mathematically
versa.
possible.
It's mathematically possible. So those lines will never touch. The title's not over.
Right.
But I can see it with my eyes on the paper. The lines do touch.
Oh, they absolutely do touch. Well, good news. Spurs and United have both been mathematically eliminated from winning a title.
Big time.
Rounding out the rest of the league. And so that happened. Chelsea 4, Southampton 0, Everton 1, Brentford 1, or as I have it listed here, Brent 4, City 1, Spurs 0, Man United 3, Ipswich 2, West Ham 2, Leicester 0. So Chelsea cashed in their voucher.
It was basically a training game.
It was. It absolutely was.
Southampton showed a little more than Leicester did in their game, which we'll come on to. But that, surprise, still wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Chelsea went into halftime with a 3-0 lead, which to me, kind of seems like Southampton's default.
Yeah.
They just feel like they're down 3-0, so they ship 3 goals.
Yeah. Oh, every fucking game, it seems they're down 3-0 at the half.
Ramsdale, for hell nor leather, can't get his team to do any goddamn thing.
So we like to try to say something positive about each team, or try to say something about them. The Saints won't be the worst goals against team like Sheffield was. Remember, Sheffield gave up over 100
goals left, right, and center. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys haven't done that, but their goal differential is still a -46.
Yeah. And we're only 2/3 through the season.
And
You're losing every game 2-0.
I'm trying to figure out.
This is what, week 27?
Yeah.
So you're close enough. You're essentially, I mean, obviously it's 1 point, ... whatever. But you're essentially shipping 2 goals a game minimum.
I'm still trying to figure out where they're going to get points, any points at all. The rest of the way.
I just don't see it. They don't look like scoring. I mean, Chelsea accidentally went ahead through Nkunku.
Yeah.
To be quite honest,
Yeah.
that little header was, I thought, if I'm thinking of the right goal, I think he was didn't necessarily I think he meant to do it, but nobody in Southampton even saw the writing on the wall.
Right. Agreed.
There was no even proper attempt to get anywhere near the place in which he put it between two Southampton players who subsequently ran into each other.
Yeah.
And it was Aaron Ramsdale and his center defender. It just wasn't just anything from Southampton. It just wasn't good. Pedro Neto, obviously, Levi Colwill, and then Cucurella, another very composed finish.
Yeah.
Which was odd. You could see him pick out, I'm going to put it right there. When you saw the replay in some slow motion, and again, it was right between two Southampton players, and Aaron Ramsdale saw it super late and couldn't get to it. It's just, there's a lot wrong on the South Coast, man.
So, moving on to Everton and Brentford, they could at least do something, but I will say this. Both of them look like they need to take a nap. They look tired.
Bro,
they look so tired, both of those teams.
It was a fun watch. It was two tired runners on a sprint.
Yeah.
Like it's not happening very fast paced, but you still enjoy it.
There's still a lot of hustle.
There's still a lot going on. Yeah, they're giving their all.
Hey, Flecken stood on his fucking head.
Well, but the match didn't start with a ton of quality.
No. God, no.
But everyone on the field kind of grew into the game, if you will.
Oh, the
Because
end was rather frantic, the end of it.
It started to get pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
So all those, like, good football down the pitch, blaze over. Good football down the pitch, out for a corner. Good football down the pitch, tame shot. Good football down the pitch, right? It actually grew in intensity. It was really pleasant in that sense, where everybody started kind of to smell blood, in the water a bit, except for Beto. For some reason,
Yeah.
nothing he did came off.
Well, it's
I think it was Alcaraz that had a fucking conniption
because he didn't pass it to him.
Yeah, because he put it Rosed.
Well, no. That was when that Flecken saved that.
Oh, I think Saban's generous. Do you think he touched it?
Oh, the dive across the
No,
front?
I think that was a different chance.
No, the one where Alcaraz lost his shit was Alcaraz passed it to Beto, and this was right near the end of the game, and it was him and Flecken one-on-one, and he put it towards the corner, and Flecken made the diving save, because Flecken made 3 one-on-one stops
Really
against
good
Beto.
saves, yeah.
And they were all against Beto, which is funny, because Beto has been putting those away.
That's what I'm saying. Look, everyone in this game grew in quality except him.
Yeah, he was the only one who just
Could not finish.
could not get in the net.
But Alcaraz, I thought Alcaraz was going to have a fucking aneurysm. He was so angry.
Oh, yeah, he lost
And
his
he was
mind.
in loads of space.
Yeah.
Flecken committed way early.
Yeah.
I mean, Alcaraz had fucking 19 of the 24 feet of the goals right in front of him.
Yeah, but I'm also striker needs to shoot. Like in that situation, I would
Pass the fucking ball, mates.
I don't know if he could have gotten that pass across though. There was a Brentford player on him. I don't hate on it as much. Now, here's the fun part is we all love watching big fuckers do diving headers for goals, right? Like that never gets old, right?
O'Brien.
Remember, he was signed in the summer. He got a couple of cup matches. That was it. Dyche would refuse to play him. Dyche would always sub in Keane over him. He's playing out of fucking position
And excelling.
That's
2 goals in 3 games as well.
No, only first goal. Only his first goal. But he was.
I thought he scored in. He scored in the FA Cup.
Yeah. No, he didn't score in the FA Cup.
I think he did.
No, he did not.
Pretty sure he scored again.
He did not.
Okay.
Because we're out of the FA Cup.
Well, okay.
That's okay.
He's
That was his
scored
first goal
recently.
for Everton. That was his first goal for Everton.
Okay.
He's been involved in a lot of stuff and he's done really kick ass, but he did not score. You might have Branthwaite recently scored.
It might have been Branthwaite I'm thinking of.
But really, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it was just two very exhausted teams. And for Everton, 4 games in 14 days. And of that 4 of 14, it's kind of hard when 2 of them you're playing with 13 guys and 2 of them you're playing with 14 guys because you missed Decore for a red card and you missed Decore for the birth of his child.
Right.
Like, that's all they've had. It's been 2 or 3 subs off the bench. That's fucking it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been tough on them, and these 10 days are going to be really fucking welcome for them when they get ready to play
Absolutely,
Wolves.
but you can't argue that the Moisiah has done excellent stuff.
Well, it's easy. We
He's
know
getting
we're
points.
We know we're safe, and honestly, that draw, that one singular point, I think now it doesn't make us officially safe, but you know what? The lines,
Same thing. Yeah.
It's there. We're safe.
Yep.
You could go ahead and bring up that goal again, but I do just want to say that Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur Football Club played a professional match in the English Premier League.
So, the quality that your game was devoid of, I think, showed in this game, but only for one team at a time.
Right.
Because in the first half, City were brilliant in terms of their chances. Everything was on target for the most part, and Vicario stood on his head, except for the coolest, calmest fucking little finish I've ever seen. That little looked like he was winding up to go far post and then just fucking stopped his hips and side-footed it into the bottom left-hand corner as Vicario dove sadly to his left. But the ball was going to the right side of his goal. It was just a brilliant finish. And as much as I fucking can't stand his face, Erling Haaland, that should be applauded.
Yeah.
It was good. The second half was Tottenham's time to shine. Now, albeit, I think Ederson made like 4 or 5 saves, quote unquote. One of them was a good one. Everything else was tame as fuck.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely was.
So boring. And that was the game. That was it. They just couldn't find the back of the net for love or money, old Spurs.
And honestly, I'm glad to not have to talk about them this week.
You
It
know
was
what
just
else
a
is
trap
funny?
game.
What's better than the game is Spurs put out a press release. Did you see that? About to the Associated Press and a few others that they would like to not be referred to solely as Tottenham. Either refer to us as Tottenham Hotspur or just Spurs.
I said this to you last week, Sam.
I know.
Okay.
We saw this. I just because it's so ridiculous, it has to be brought up again. Is
Okay,
the point? And I loved that we called them Tottenham throughout most of that segment.
Yeah, very good.
We're rebels.
An own goal, a red card, and a win with 10 men. Is this what United is now? Is this what they've become?
Yeah, they're out of every cup competition now. They're out of the Premier League title race, obviously.
They're still in Europe.
Do we really think they're going to win the Europa League?
No, absolutely not.
I don't either. And apparently, according to Jim Ratcliffe, they're broke. He's now closed the players' canteen in the building, so they can't go buy a sandwich. I think it was free for them actually, but he didn't even switch it to cash. You're not even allowed to buy a sandwich now.
Right.
There's nothing there for employees of the football club. That he's talking about cutting more shit. They replaced, match day lunches with fruit because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to be happy about.
Yeah.
If you're a United supporter. And this, I think, is another thing to not be happy about. Is it points on the board? Yes. But Ipswich were well in this game.
Yeah.
And United were at home.
Yeah.
And Ipswich, on the form they're in and everything else, there's no way they should be in the game.
No. Never.
This should be 4-5, 6-0.
Never.
Rasmus Højlund looks terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. And you replace the one bright spot in this game, Garnacho, after the red card. So you looked flatter after the decision the coach had to make, which isn't a good look.
And
when you're on such a run of bad form.
And Ipswich leveled it down a man. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing.
And it wasn't even a good United move that made their winner. It was Harry Maguire. Well, he ran in a 5 or 6 step straight line. It was the Ipswich defense that switched off that gave them the win.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Absolutely.
they had stayed with him over those 4 or 5 steps, he probably wouldn't have gotten the goal.
Yeah.
So they would have drawn a 10-man Ipswich and gave up the equalizer when Ipswich were down to 10 men. Dorgu deserved that red card.
Oh, God, yeah.
That was bad.
Oh, it was
It
very
was a very bad tackle.
Very bad. Leg breaker, the way he got in on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh, it was bad,
He's
very bad.
Very lucky he didn't break the
Yeah.
man's leg.
Yeah.
Now, the injury shouldn't influence the ban, but I think he deserves a bit extra
Yeah.
for that. I mean,
was-
that at least an extra game.
It was very,
that was a
it was
terrible
very
tackle.
deliberate, and it was very bad. Very, very bad. And here's the sad part for United fans. We're not even making fun of you anymore. We're starting to fucking pity you.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's real bad.
The best meme I shared in Drunken United FC, which is the closed group on Facebook that
Mm-hmm.
everybody should find. It's where all the hashtag bans happen. Okay. The funniest meme I found was Onana at the ATM. And the ATM screen says no savings.
Yeah, because no, you don't make
And it
any
said
saves.
O'Donnell went to pull money out the bank and realized he hadn't saved anything ever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty good.
Potter's irons are starting to take shape. You know, I mean, now,
Yeah, but the
granted,
whole
it's-
game was-
You mean you're playing Leicester, and Leicester are horrible.
Leicester were absolutely pitiful again, showed nothing. I mean, honestly, that performance reminded me so much of Norwich at the end of March 2 years ago.
Yeah,
It's like, fuck off.
yeah.
We shouldn't be forced to watch this. This is absurd. Just forfeit, just 3-0 to everyone you play the rest of the season.
Do they keep Van Nistelrooy just because they don't want to have to
No, I
pay
don't
the
think they
money?
can.
Or do you
I
have,
don't think you can. He's not motivating the players, not playing for him.
Yeah,
It's not happening.
I mean, when do we think it happens? Then do we the next?
They have to
By the
find somebody
international
else
break?
because West Ham haven't been very good
Yeah,
as a whole this season.
Mm-hmm.
Potter's turned some stuff around, right? They look a bit more organized. They look a bit more together.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. But they didn't even have to get out of first gear in this game. And they walked it.
yeah,
Absolutely
Yeah.
fucking walked it.
yeah.
And they were ones that you were like, surprise relegation, ? 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, could this be a team that's getting sucked into it? And now they're strolling a team without even having to try.
Yeah.
This was the other training game of the weekend. Instead, it was going to become a theme. This was the other training game of the weekend. They needed to do nothing. Jared Bowen, I think at halftime may have tweeted something like, that should be my goal. Fuck that. Like, that's how little they cared about the opposition on the other side of the
Right,
field.
exactly.
Was like, you know, during the game, the Twitter account of Jared Bowen is saying, give me my goal, don't take it away. It wasn't an own goal. Ultimately, it was taken away and it was an own goal. But it was like, it's just so disrespectful, you know. It's probably not true. I just made that up.
While I was on, I got you. While I was on the Whole Lot of Wolves show, I told the boys point blank. I was like, be happy that the 3 teams that came up are that bad, or else we would be talking about you going down. But they are just that bad, all 3 of them.
Oh, big time. Yeah, yeah.
Sure money. Not good gambling.
I'm down 2,500.
Nice, very good. Excellent, better.
Thanks.
Yeah, real good.
I got a doozy this week.
I missed. Oh, is it going to be
9-way parlay.
I'll count them while you go.
very good? I did miss on my 2 sets of draws. Both ended up being 2-1 losses for me, but I'm still up $1,313.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
We love even numbers. Did you know? 32% of the time, it works 100% of the time, motherfucker. Bam! All right, I'm taking a 3-game parlay. Going to take Villa, Chelsea, and Arsenal to beat Brentford, Leicester, and Manchester United for plus 529.
Good. Glad you can take such short odds. Because I can't.
Still plus 529.
So it's 10.
Oh, shit. New world record. I don't even...
9-way parlay.
+1.
Liverpool over Southampton, and there to be 2.5 goals, over 2.5 goals, excuse me, in that game. Under 3.5 in Forest versus City. Nothing else there. Palace to beat Ipswich. Over 1.5 goals in Brentford versus Villa. Don't know who's going to win. Again, Villa's been very busy lately. Everton to win or draw with Wolves in a double chance. Chelsea to beat Leicester and over 2.5 goals in that game because you could do it if you were blind.
Grammy folding.
Over 2.5 goals in Tottenham versus Bournemouth and under 3.5 in United versus Arsenal. That 10-game parlay, this is how straightforward I bet this. That 10-leg parlay is only plus 11.25.
That was easy.
Bless your cotton dick.
For normal 10 legs, we'd be plus 2, 3, 4, 8,000.
Right.
This is only plus 11.25.
Yep.
So I don't even half my deficit.
No.
If I win this.
No.
And it's 10 legs, Sam.
10 legs.
10 legs.
This is how you got to try to claw your way back, huh?
I gotta do something. I gotta do something. Because I'm floundering at the moment.
Need to tell your better half to learn about that new drug and sell it well.
I can't even talk about it.
That's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Mr. Graham, any parting words?
Millwall.
Fucking shocker. Fucking Millwall.
Millwall. Your goalkeeper decided to make one of the worst challenges. I mean, an Eric Cantona-esque karate kick. Now, granted, he got the ball. I think his intentions were pure.
We're going to talk more about that on the EFL show, but go ahead from there.
Right. But, the groundwork has to be laid.
Right. I gotcha.
I think his intentions were pure because he did get the ball first. The follow through and all the momentum and everything carried him into it. There are post-event, a lot of cuns, actually. Joey Barton, some of the older white English media also saying actually it's probably a foul on the keeper, not or a foul on Mateta, not the keeper, because he pushed somebody over, and that shouldn't, kind of like that Pickford Van Dijk
right.
torn ACL thing. Well, the offside happened, so this actually didn't happen in terms of the game, even though it happened in real life, kind of thing.
Right.
Because Mateta pushed his defender a little bit. I don't think they should have called the police like they did for Duncan Ferguson that time. But this was bad, man.
Real bad.
Michael Oliver gets a cunt badge. The Millwall fans being racist towards Mateta after getting his head taken clean off, or get a cunt badge. The VAR that took, I think, a total of 6 minutes to figure this out should get a cunt badge. Michael Oliver, there was a brilliant still shot taken from the stand behind, and it was zoomed in, and there is clearly no one between Michael Oliver and this incident, and he gave a yellow card to start with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And of course, how many times do we have to say it? We'll call it out every time, but it is getting cumbersome because y'all can't seem to figure it out. Nobody asks for, does things, or exists solely because of the color of their skin. Right. So just leave it out of your argument.
Yeah.
And the racism following his boot to the face, in terms of Jean-Philippe Mateta being the victim in that scenario, is just more absurd than most of the times I hear the racism from people.
Them chanting, let him bleed out, like fuck off. Like, we know that Millwall supporters are bad. We know this. We know they're a touch racist. We know that they are.
It's more than a touch.
There's a movie, and West Ham are the good guys in the movie.
Yeah.
That's what because the bad guys are Millwall.
Yeah.
When the good guys are West Ham, let's take a second here.
It's just ridiculous. It's everyone in every aspect of this challenge, besides the two people involved, in my opinion,
Right.
have a share of the blame here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they all get badges of cuntiness.
Yep.
And so it's just easy. Just wake up, every day and just try to not be a cunt. Just don't be a
simple.
cunt.
Just look in the mirror and go, I'm not going to be a cunt today.
Everything tends to work out for you if you do that.
It really should.
Yeah.
It really
so
should.
Just don't be a cunt. D-back. Hashtag D-back. Share that hashtag. Talk about that hashtag. That's what it's about. That hashtag.
I was just saying the pink bag of cuntness.
Oh, hold on. You're still
turned
muted.
down.
Oh, the pink badge of cuntness.
Yeah.
Red badge of courage, pink badge of cuntness.
All right. That's fine. I like that. That brings it back to the derogatory meaning of cunt, but that's okay.
All right, boys and girls. Next up is DU Does EFL. And on DU Does the EFL, DU Does EFL. I did it right the first time and wrong the second time.
What's wrong with you today?
I am on fire today. We are going to talk all about the FA Cup 5th round along with the rest of English football. And then after that will be injury time, where we check in on our adopted club. We find out how our fantasy team's doing, talk about the beers we are drinking, and then preview the weekend's action. Should you want to support the show in other ways, Mr. Graham, how do you go about doing it?
It's very easy. It's www.patreon.com/DFootballShow. Just sign up to that $5 tier. You get injury time, what Sam's talking about, our preview show there, but you also get sound check, which is our actual sound check. You get to hear personal stories from our lives and all that kind of stuff, where we discuss, everything and put the world to rights as it is. Other than that, you can find us on killmateta.com. We've been posting regularly on there with other Millwall supporters. JK.
All right, everybody. Till next week.
Good night.